Don't worry. Everything's fine in Russia. Vladimir Putin is definitely not getting screwed like a cheerleading squad on OnlyFans. So what exactly happened over there? It's a funny story. According to Vladimir Putin, the head of the Wagner group got a little confused while he was marching around with his troops, so he decided to take a break in Belarus for a while. No hard feelings. Putin is even buying his buddy some new drapes. And sure, there are some prominent Russian generals who have suddenly disappeared, but they're just relaxing at the beach, you guys. Being a general is hard, especially in Russia. Now, everyone else in the world is saying there was an attempted coup, because there was, and now Yevgeny Prigozhin is supposedly hiding out in a windowless hotel room trying to avoid assassination. We've obtained security footage from that hotel. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the Hotel Minsk. Can I get your name?
John Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith. And how long will you be staying with us?
Indefinitely. Can't go home now.
Okay, got it. So I've got a room on the 7th floor available.
First floor, close to ground.
Got it. Okay, and would you prefer city view or courtyard view?
No view, no windows. Steel vault is best.
Okay then. I've got you a steel vault on the 1st floor that's bulletproof. Breakfast is at 7, and we hope you enjoy your stay and don't get murdered by your enemies. Take care!
When the country heard the audio of Trump basically admitting to his crimes, there was a collective, oh shit, from the legal community. With us to discuss is our chief legal correspondent, Jonathan Miller. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we now have this audio of Trump admitting to the crime he's accused of. How fucked is he right now?
You know, Andrea, I'd love to say that he's fuckity fucked. So fucking fucked that he couldn't get out of it. But this is Trump we're dealing with. You never know.
That is true. So what are some of the defenses that his lawyers might use to try and weasel their way out of this one?
I mean, at this point, he says everything and he lies about everything. You kind of have to argue that he doesn't have the mental capacity to know that he did anything wrong. I just don't see any other argument here.
Yeah, the mental capacity argument honestly makes a lot of sense, and has for a while.
Exactly.
So here's one thing that's had me confused for a while now. Why would any lawyer ever work for Donald Trump? You're probably not going to get paid on time or in full. Your client isn't going to listen to your advice. He's going to make your life harder at every turn, and there's a good chance you'll end up disbarred by the end of it. So why take that on?
I mean, all Trump really has to offer is publicity. And some of these guys are just out for notoriety and publicity and hoping that representing Trump will lead to something better. Not disbarment, but something better.
Book deal, maybe?
Book deal, maybe.
Now, Trump has landed Judge Eileen Cannon for his Miami trial, who has been pretty nice to him in the past. Would she be the one that determines his sentence if he's found guilty? And if so, any idea what that sentence might look like?
So she will be the one to determine the sentence. And while there are guidelines, she doesn't necessarily have to follow. So I think that as nice as she's been to him, she'll probably let him get away with giving her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a slap on the hand.
Right, but since it's Trump making the PB&J, it's probably just going to be the bread and then an email to his supporters saying, hey, please send me money so I can buy the peanut butter and jelly.
He's got to fundraise off the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's going to be the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich anybody's ever seen. Believe him.
Huge sandwich, huge. Let's turn now to some other legal matters. The Supreme Court has been pretty busy, and they just handed down a ruling gutting affirmative action. So how do you think this ruling will affect a key group in this country, Nepo babies?
Well, Andrea, now there's nothing stopping that money from going a long way, getting your kid into the college of their dreams.
And I think that's very refreshing, just to be able to buy what you want anytime you want it, right?
Exactly. That's what we need. Immediacy and gratification, if you can afford it.
All right, one final question. As a lawyer who follows American politics, how are you holding up? Do you need a hug or a weighted blanket, maybe a good stiff drink?
I mean, I feel like all three would be welcome at this point and any point.
All right, everybody go out and buy your lawyer some booze and maybe a snack. All right, Jonathan, thanks for being here. Chief Legal Correspondent Jonathan Miller, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Are you picking up what we're putting down? You can always donate to us at co-fi.com/Fenix News. Clickable links in the description below. Well, looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene's TV is trying to spy on her now. No word yet on if it's in cahoots with the Jewish space laser. Presidential candidate RFK Jr. has the internet talking, but not about his policies. It's his pecs. That's right, Arkan's work outfits have got voters turgid with excitement.
That's a fit boy.
Has politics ever seen taut 69-year-old man boobs like that? I think not. Who cares about his wacky anti-vax positions when he could be duking it out with Biden and Marianne Williamson in a three-way lights-out Texas cage match? I feel those primordial juices flowing. Oh man, I can't wait to vote. This is scary. Mr. Beast says he could have been on that Titanic trip. But his destiny was here, on the surface, making this face over and over again. Former TV host Maury Povich, whose show answered the question, "Who's your daddy?" has launched a new at-home paternity test company called The Results Are In. Hey, you don't know me, Maury. You don't know me, okay? You think you can ID my precious baby Julia using your startup? You want to know the real baby daddy? It's you, Maury. It's either you or The Rock. My precious little Julia Dwayne Johnson Povich. Hey, you remember that collapsed highway overpass in Philly? Well, it's already fixed. Unlike the pothole in your neighborhood that's been there for months. To all our Philly viewers who blame the bridge's initial failure on the shady contractors who messed the job up in the first place, here's hoping that their unusually speedy rush repair job holds up this time. Who wants to drive across it first? Anyone? If you're single, living in LA, and make $70 grand a year, congrats on being a production assistant. But you are now considered to be low income by the state. Now, this may seem shocking, but in Orange County, that number is 80 grand, and in San Francisco, it's 104 grand. If you're wondering how the state can consider these seemingly sky-high numbers low income, just remember that if you earn less than 2/3 of those numbers, the government doesn't consider you at all. Pepsi has just released its latest gastronomic nightmare, and it's a cola ketchup slurry that will make your ballpark hot dogs inedible. We reached out to Coca-Cola to ask if they had a response planned, and the head of R&D replied by jamming down on a 2-foot rail of pure powder, saying, "Nah, the Coke brand diversified a long time ago." A new study finds that humans have used so much groundwater that the Earth's axis has shifted. Okay, look, the Earth needs to stop blaming us for stuff, all right? She's been a mess forever. Like, her whole deal for 1,000,000 years was being on fire. She's spinning around like 1,000 miles a second. She's gonna get off her equilibrium now and again. Messy bitch. And finally tonight, a woman who married an AI chatbot says she is open to exploring additional relationships with humans. She says that concerns about her life with just the AI started at the wedding when it tried to put the ring on the 6th finger of her 4th hand. That wraps up this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the latest episode of our podcast. Links in the description. Bye! You're the baby daddy, Maury. Unless it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It was a busy month. What's that, Julia? You hope Maury is your daddy? Oh, no, sorry, that was just gas. She's got your eyes, but she's got the Rock's abs. Just straight up ripped for a baby. Usher was there too, you know. I think that was Usher. Doesn't everybody fuck Usher?